fucking bullshitting. Me and the fellas were just talking about fucking Donald Trump in America. How the fuck we were so stupid. Notice it's two Americans and an Irish dude who drives an American car, so we inducted him too. It doesn't matter.
And lives in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he lives in Saudi Arabia. Dude's
Which is the 52nd state of America.
No, it's the fucking, it's Washington D.C. 2.0. I mean, Blackwater's, isn't there fucking CEO living in Saudi Arabia? That should trip me out. That's how you know it's over for us. When the head PMC of our fucking country doesn't even live in the States. He feels safer in Saudi Arabia.
Isn't it kind of ridiculous that you're saying that America has a head PMC? I mean, really, we have private military corporations. And yeah, I think you're on point though. Like, if you're gonna have a private military corporation for your country, they should probably live in your country.
Right. They shouldn't have. They shouldn't be like, I think our foreign policy, our best headquarters is fucking elsewhere. But why? Cover story is taxes.
Hey, agent. Here's the charge.
Who the fuck wants
Taxes,
to pay?
really?
Yeah, taxes. But
we all. Is that why he's here?
Everything's prepped.
Most likely, I imagine. What else is there? I mean, what else?
Right.
I could see having a headquarters, you know, like a headquarters, like having a base of operations or something, you know, an office. But like, that's your world headquarters for real?
Right.
There's something off with that.
Especially because the whole country makes everything fun illegal. Can you drink? Fuck no. How about whores? Fuck no. So you can't do anything worldly without fucking bribing somebody. In America, you could live in Vegas. Everything's fucking legal. Everything's legal. But you'd rather live in fucking the fucking sandpit of the world.
Just how it makes you feel special though. Whenever you're in a country that makes you feel like you're paying for every single experience by knowing people, by knowing important people.
That is kind of cool. It's like the Beverly Hills of the world. Where it's like the only poor people in there were brought in because rich people don't feel like cooking.
Yeah.
Like no, but yes.
The only people that can do shit over here are people that are either wealthy, or royal.
See, and I think that, like, I would be concerned because some royalty dude would pop off at the mouth at me, and I'm supposed to like respect it, and you know.
Don't you know I'm the 31st prince of the fucking Arab? Got it? Like, who the bitch? I don't know.
There's 3,000 princes.
Get the fuck out.
See, then they're gonna be like, oh, I gotta kick your head off because you're talking shit about the prince. I'm like, I'm gonna get our prince, and he's gonna go over and throw out some guitar riffs and fuck your princes up.
Did you say guitar? The terrorist,
dude,
guitarist, or guitar
who's
hero?
The American prince?
Who's
the American prince?
Any fucking senator's child? Oh, fuck, shut the fuck up, dog. Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna have that man throw on some magic guitar music, and I'm gonna be good to go.
I got it. You're fucking dumb. Where the fuck are we going? I don't even know.
One prince I care about. Where the fuck is this guy at?
Where are we going? What are we doing? Wait for JTF. Learning how to read with me. Thing. Got it. Just figure that shit out. All the shit I talked about, homeboy's friend not knowing how to read, and here I am running in circles, not knowing how to wait patiently. Power assault.
There's access to the tunnels beneath the UN close by. Once in the tunnels, you'll find the breach site 200 yards north. Leave the JTF squad and go.
And you wanna know what's funny? Why haven't the Bloods or Crips created their own PMCs? Like, I would literally create my own. If I was the Blood, I'd be like, look, fucking white people doing it. And I know they're smuggling drugs in. Like I would
What are you
do
doing
it.
over there? Hey, G, what are you doing?
Don't ask me shit, man. I'm talking. I'm not tactically aware no more.
Just let me run over in front of the giant gun and get killed.
No. I
we
flipped
like,
over, dude. I flipped. I'm telling
like
you.
legit. I don't even know how I'm gonna try to hide behind this orange cone and save your ass.
Hell, motherfucker.
that is not
shit?
gonna work.
Did it work? It got you.
No.
You thought it was a good idea. That's why you did it. No, don't doubt me, dog. See, talking is dangerous, dude.
Wait,
I mean,
am I going the wrong way? Or
No, you're going the right way, Sammy. The problem is AG went over here.
Shut up.
Got shot up by these turrets.
It already happened, dog. That's gonna be edited out in the final cut, dog. Ain't nobody gonna know about that shit but us.
I think I'm gonna let them forget.
Exactly. People are just gonna be wondering, what are you talking about? Like, we didn't see him die.
This guy's crazy.
Like, no wonder. And this is the shit that makes America shit. You got people who are hallucinating, thinking they know about world politics, can't even remember the 5-minute fight that happened 2 seconds ago.
I saw this video of this guy, of this, movie that was back made in, I don't know, sometime in the 80s or something, like 86 or something like that. This guy was, like, talking about, like, how life is going to be in the future.
Uh-huh.
And what? Like, he was saying that basically everyone's going to be just, like perpetuated, like, working their asses off for a life that they never really owned.
Exactly.
Basically want
That they never really wanted.
Yeah. Yes.
and want.
How about that guy who was talking about how, like, New York City's a trap?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh.
that's the video. That's the video. It's like, he basically asked him, is like, why do people never live like New York City? And he just on giving him reasons. It's like, no, I really think it's just a natural prison.
Basically, it's a prison that they built. Because you're all proud of it. Look what they built. This is great. It's fabulous. It's wonderful. I can't leave it. I have to take care of it. You know, it's like where your possessions own you, or do you own your possessions?
Right. The hedonistic treadmill is real. Got grenades. It's like Halo. See that shit? For all those people watching on YouTube, when you empty a mag into somebody, they're usually dead after the first trigger pull. Well, one day, I'm gonna have weapons that do what they do in real life. Until then, I'm stuck with this BB gun shit. Hopefully these motherfuckers got enough TBI to stay unconscious till we're done with the mission.
What's a TBI?
Oh, it's fuck, something on cable, some sort of news network.
Hostiles inbound on your position.
Nah, it's traumatic brain injury.
Is it like a show?
No. Just in case, I'm not sure if you're being facetious because you're pretty smart, but for everybody else who's not as smart as us, TBI is traumatic brain injury.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This other dude in the group is like, what did I get into?
Like, yeah, I don't fucking get this shit. By the way, you are
no idea what we're
you
doing.
are being streamed. Oh yeah, it's party chat. He can't hear us, so he's like, he don't even realize what the fuck we're getting into. He's like, yo, these are some cool cats, real efficient motherfuckers. Yeah, okay.
very entertaining. Like we're all like talking shit, crack jokes, getting his like serious firefight. Everybody gets quiet. He's like fuckles down the business.
Hostiles inbound on
Hey,
your position.
we realize that we really can't stay alive and talk shit about Donald Trump in the same with the same amount of energy. Like, you gotta pick your life, dude. Priorities. Donald Trump don't matter to me. Honestly. Like, honestly, the next president is, it doesn't really matter who the fucking president is. He has no, he really has, the only power he can do is impeachable shit. Like, let's ignore the Constitution. That's impeachable shit. Like, in all honesty, he has no authority. Whenever he wants to do anything worthwhile, he has to break the fucking law. That's the fucking truth, everybody.
Well, he's got to get, you know,
He's got to ask
he just
permission
runs
to
off
people.
and blows
Right.
that shit out of his own. Yeah.
Exactly. He has to break the law. Because otherwise he has to go, hey, I want to start a war with a country. Go to Congress. Hey, I want to do this. Go to Congress. Hey, I want to do Congress. Congress, can you pass a law for me? No. What the fuck are you going to do to him? Nothing. But anytime he really wants to do some shit, he's like, I want to do some shit and I want to ask Congress. That's impeachable shit. When Bush invaded when we put boots on the ground, we were only supposed to keep it there for so long. Bush made it a fucking PR campaign so that we would fucking stay in Iraq. And then when people didn't nobody realized that he was lying about a gang of shit.
Do you know the conspiracy like going to war in Iraq? Like,
All I know,
the reason why. The reason, like the main reason.
I heard him say some shit like, I heard somebody say some shit like, he told my daddy he ain't shit, so I said fuck
We
him.
need those turrets turned around and the
shit
main
like that.
gate open, now!
The main shit was because Saddam had like oil, like lots of it.
Of course.
And America really didn't want the oil. They wanted to protect their currency.
Right. Yes, the petrodollar.
Yeah, the petrodollar theory is that they went to war in Iraq because they were
Don't worry about the
protecting
courtyard. The JTF can hold
dollar,
it.
not
Take point at
because
the
they
General
were
Assembly.
trying to steal
Bliss
oil.
is your target. Take
Which
him
makes
down
more sense
fast.
in light of the fact that Obama assassinated the Libyan president with a fucking bomber. Like, we didn't use drones. No, we had to make that shit public so that the next president wouldn't have to send more people to fucking defend some shit we don't give a fuck about. Because the dollar really is based on absolutely nothing but trust.
But that's the thing, like you can't. Once the dollar crumbles, basically the entire economy of America would crumble as well.
Exactly. And that's why it trips me out when people don't even realize that Russia has been testing the American military responses for the longest time now. Like, what do you think they really give a shit about Ukraine? Hell no, they don't give a shit about Ukraine. But they want to see how America responds to Ukraine. America can only bluff so long till we're gonna have our shit pushed in, and it's gonna be a crazy day because from what I've heard, what I've read, fucking China has been building defensive islands and asking other Asian nations to assist with the funding because they want to defend against a naval invasion. Well, who the fuck's gonna invade China except for America?
Bliss is your primary objective, but we believe Keener and the Russians are still in the building as well. I've tasked JTF squads to search for them, but if you see them, don't hesitate.
Anyone else that has technology, so regardless of any kind of weaponry, that doesn't go well with America. It does not go well with all.
Like from what I
You have
heard,
to look at it like this. You gotta realize America is the only country in the world that has been crazy enough to use nuclear weapons in combat, in war.
Yeah.
And that, if you're a world leader, that terrifies you.
Yeah. That is true.
Because we didn't use one, we used two.
Yes. Yes.
And
we used it at the same time. We used it at the same time. We didn't.
Saying that
Go ahead.
Iran is too unstable that it might actually end up using a nuclear bomb on Israel, when Israel has so many nuclear bombs that they say that, oh well, Israel is a responsible country.
But you want to know what's even sadder? Israel the Israel leadership, political leadership, doesn't even represent their people. That's what's sad. I don't know who. I don't. Yeah, and that's what's sad. Like I am pro-Jew. I am a Christian and an actual fundamentalist Christian. Ignore all the cussing and all the shit that I talk. That's just me and my motherfucking weakness, alright? In actual reality, like I truly believe that you want to know the litmus test of humanity. You watch the history of fucking Israel and blow that shit up by a decimal point or two. So when you have people scapegoating behind this fucking race that seems to be undestroyable no matter what the fuck you do to it, you are pretty much let me see how to say it. Satan is pretty much using God's people as a shield to do what the fuck he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Israel is using the...
right, Israel is using the Jews as a shield to do what the fuck it wants.
Yeah. As well as like the history that they were in, the history, the biblical history. This is their own God right of the country.
You better hear this. Bliss just broke radio silence. We're trying to track him, patching you through.
Right.
And that's the thing. Israel can go and do whatever it fucking wants.
Anyone not on the wall needs to be hunting that traitor and his Russian playmate down. They are not to leave the compound alive.
They don't do nothing.
Am I understood?
They don't say, oh, well, you've done something really wrong.
are in the building. Your helo is prepped and you need to evacuate now.
Nah, they just turn a blind eye and that's it.
I'm coming up.
But that's the sad thing. Is like
assembly chamber. Go.
that was all established. What's that family that created the central banks? We all know it. If I said it, we'd all be like, them motherfuckers.
The Rothschilds.
Exactly. They're the ones that fucking made the British government push that fucking Israel shit. They're the ones, like Israel wanted the menorah as their national flag. They did not want no 6-point fucking star that has no bearing on their history to be used as their flag. I mean, the symbolism alone, if you just look at it, there's 6 lines, 6 angles, there's a gang of 6s all over that motherfucker, dog.
You're saying the Star of David is
the quote-unquote Star of David. Yes. Let me just say it like this. Let's not look at images. Let's look at facts. Because we all know, if we read the Bible, we'll know there's plenty of people who have claimed shit in the name of God that ain't true. We don't even have to read the Bible. We can just.
I'm glad you're at least on that page.
Yeah. There's plenty of people who have claimed shit. Like even Jesus himself says, "Look, you're gonna go see." There are people who call themselves Jews and aren't, and are of the synagogue of Satan. If that don't talk about the current Jewish predicament, I don't know what does, man. I don't know what does.
It's just crazy. How like there's so much double standard when it comes to like hypocrisy, when it comes to like how the world operates.
Sir, we've got eyes on a helo over the main building.
That's gotta be Bliss. Fuck, we missed.
Policy,
Agent, we whipped on Bliss, but his command staff might still be in the General Assembly. Head that way.
And it's so funny how the news, how blatant they're willing to lie to you. Like, I know you're gonna lie to me. I get it.
Because most of the media publications are owned.
They're all owned by people, rich people.
But not just rich people. Rich people on the same team.
Right.
That's the problem.
Like Murdoch, which is like one of the biggest, he owns one of the biggest news corporations in the world. He's a Jewish pro-Zionist.
Right. And see, that's the thing that gets me. As I'm doing more research into all this like setup, because if you look at the way they're setting up their new church house, that shit reeks of Illuminati shit, man. It just reeks of it. The architecture alone is just, because there's so much power in symbols you don't even realize. Like, the more, like, if we I'm gonna just do a little sidebar. If you look into quantum physics, you'll realize that the world is influenced by the physical world is influenced by the immaterial world. That's the So and I'm about to get overran here. So fuck. We're so busy talking, we're not even fighting no more. But
I'm just looting stuff down here. I didn't realize you were going to do all the adventures.
Yeah.
Slow your roll a little bit, man.
Ah, it's just crazy. Anyway, the physical world. Yeah, we all know that the physical world, like, we know that we actually have evidence proof that light waves are both particles and fucking what else? Waves. Depending on whether somebody is observing it. We know that quantum physics, through quantum matter, actually responds to the emotion of the person watching it. And this is undeniable fact, which tells me that there is a spiritual world and that this is a digital simulation of that world. This is the manifestation of that shit. Which also lets me know, another sidebar, if a bitch is crazy or not. Because the bitch probably got tattoos telling you what fucking demons run in her life. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's why I like plain bitches. Plain women. My bad, not plain bitches. Anyway, back to fucking Zionism and shit. So, when you look at this, and you look at the fact that the whole world is ran by shit you can't see, wouldn't it make sense that the most important parts of those shit that you can't see that can actually affect the shit that you do see would be governed, there would be an invisible war on the visible world. It would just make sense to me.
It's like an invisible wall. It's like an invisible wall of reality.
Exactly.
It's like a ceiling that you can't seem to break.
A veil, if you will.
Warning. Hostiles inbound.
You like that one, didn't
Why
you?
else do you think? Well, that's why you start, certain governmental agencies started to make things like hallucinogenics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Legal,
Yeah.
especially like the natural one, because they let you lift, or pierce, or gaze past such a veil.
I mean,
And
like,
can't have everybody doing that.
nobody can tell you why PCP makes a man so fucking strong. Nobody. But it does. Why? We all like. There's stories of fucking demon-possessed people throwing motherfuckers all over the world. But we call that shit...
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that most of these drugs are banned. They put the consciousness in a state where it provides that natural, word.
Yes, that's a good way of saying it. That's a great way of saying it.
People that smoke weed or do drugs, they think differently, completely different to how.
Okay, now, we still have LMB in the building.
Right.
I need you to...
Sorry to cut in, Captain. Agent,
because you're
this
just
room
like thinking
contains
about
any
stuff. You're
intel
not
the
really,
LMB
like,
has
you're
on
not
Manhattan.
really, like,
Find a
thinking about
terminal
the
and download
consequences of
everything.
where you're
We don't
starting.
know what we don't know.
Lady's got a point.
When you're
that.
kind of like when you're not in a state where when you're not in a state of that kind of state of mind, it makes you like someone that is very influential, like very easily influenced. Like they can just like
Right.
you can just be programmed really easily.
There's barriers of your brain. Like your brain's a computer, and there's software in there that's used to assist the you that is you. But most people confuse you with your brain. Your brain is not you. Your brain is a conduit to you, a gateway to control yourself, if you will.
You are correct, sir.
So when, like, because people will say, people have brain injury, and then it takes a while, but the brain reconfigures itself to act the way it does. Now, if this was all purely physical, the brain could not do that, because certain things would be irreparable. Like how many times has Windows broken down even though I've reloaded a system reboot? You can't fix shit if it's in a closed system. It's one of the laws of fucking science. Entropy is a natural thing. It doesn't regenerate unless it's coming from a system outside of what you know. So therefore, that is a testament to the fact that you are not physical. Period. I don't give a fuck what you say. So therefore, you gotta wonder, where is you? Because I know where my mind is. When I'm high on, when I take a drug, I know how it's affecting me. But the very fact that I'm self-aware of that means that I am not it. I'm the eyes, not the glasses. And you gave me a drug that fucked up my glasses. You get everybody. I know you get what I'm saying, but whoever's listening, that's how you get what I'm saying.
I completely get you, man.
I like the glass analogy. In the eyes,
that glass
that's good.
analogy. That glasses
That's
analogy
legit.
was on point, man.
So like,
Who's like, gonna find this kind of conversation playing video games? People say video games are no good for you. Fuck them.
Exactly. Because you want to know something? I was talking to an atheist the other day. The shit cracked me up. And they're like, I don't believe in God. I was like, I do. You talk to him? Yeah. Record it for him. I was like, look. I told him I don't know God. It's like, look, see, you don't even know God. I was like, look, listen. If I was right, God, like I was talking to God one time in the bathroom. I was like, yo, how do I this? I got so mad I didn't even think, right? I was like, how do I explain this to people? And he was like, and this is what came to my head. I promise you. It was like, tell him how would an author relay to the story, the people he's writing, the characters he invents in the story that he exists. Is there any way the characters in the story would ever know he exists if he didn't want them to? Like, imagine that shit. I said Jack and Jill rolling down a hill. Does Jack and Jill know the author? Fuck no. They don't know shit but the fuck that they fell. Because the author made it so. Anyway, we need to get past this mission because I really don't want to get stuck doing this shit 20 million times.
Knock that arrogant fuck out of the sky.
Helicopter?
Yes, sir.
That healer's got the master turret control.
Oh shit!
Look, use the turrets.
Yeah, I'm assuming. That's the thing. Like, I just seen the green.
They have manual controls. You got to run over. You can adjust the manual control to fight it, but it only helps because eventually they're all dead because it shoots them all.
Agent, I've got reinforcements incoming. Keep them under
I'm
pressure
assuming
and
that
stay sharp.
Take it down.
I'm so fucking dumb, dog. I don't even know what I'm supposed
They make them. Yeah, they give enough damage so that you can eventually beat it yourself. But I think too, if we can get enough of them going.
That's what it is. I gotta go. Hey, how'd y'all get to where y'all got? Because I didn't follow you. I was too busy talking.
Just go back right outside the library or that like auditorium.
Yeah, it's just outside the auditorium.
Careful, Agent.
Then
We
there's
still don't know what this thing's capable of.
A hallway.
So you went outside, let's see. Might as well take that shit.
As you come out, turn left.
Oh, okay, I see. You didn't go down the stairs, y'all went down this shit.
Now!
Yeah, you gotta go down that other set of stairs.
Heads up, you've got ground troops incoming. LMB reinforcements. Watch your back down there.
Ground troops? Are you kidding me?
Warning. Hostiles inbound on your position.
Because the helicopter's not enough. He's gotta have dudes too.
Okay, obviously we're not supposed to stand together. I'll get away from you now.
No. Bunching up is bad.
Yeah. Good thing you can't do this on challenging. Or can you? I wouldn't want to.
Oh yeah, they have challenging for this mission. Honestly, I think it'll be a fun mission.
The harder the better. Like with the new update, like some of the developers like working on hard. Still didn't even beat it. 3 days or something. How are we supposed to beat it? Like the people that made it, don't even know how to beat it.
Well, most programmers aren't good gamers. I've noticed that.
No, but like the people that like they have like a team of people.
Oh, the quality control dudes.
Yeah, like, I think they have like a team of people that are professional gamers that test the game before it releases. Well, that's what it said on the live stream. If I remember.
Yeah, they're just trying to hype it up. It ain't shit.
Right. I know it ain't. Because all they said was it's going to be harder. Which means more hit points, more damage. AKA, you're going to do the same shit you did last time. If it's so hard, we got to change the way we fight.
As long as they don't pull that Destiny shit, they throw in some fucking...
Or like some strategy. Some strategy to it. Like yeah.
So theoretically, they're doing that by making sure that...
Making it harder.
Well, no, but by making it so that you have to have certain classes, you know, to really be able to finish the mission. So you got to have someone that's a healer. You got to have someone that's a tank. You know, someone that's going to buff everybody. Theoretically, that's what I'm hearing. That kind of stuff.
Well, this mission is very reminiscent of like fighting Lawrence because you're not really fighting the helicopter. That's hard on. You're using the turret to do most of the damage. You know.
I know exactly what you're saying. Doesn't stop me from shooting at it with this sniper rifle thinking I'm doing something though.
Yeah, I'm assuming like, but that's the thing, like, it's like figuring out like,
they got you. And then
like, that's the same thing. Like that's the same thing as always. Once you find out there's a bomb or the things that do the damage, then it becomes easy.
Warning. Hostiles inbound on your position.
So we'll probably just add
Jesus.
another level
I've got another layer of armor.
I ate that shit straight in the face.
Okay, so that one's done. Are all the turrets down now? Shot, destroyed?
I think so. I was running around like
But yeah. Because I was trying to explain to her. I'm a 3-dimensional being. No, my bad. 4-dimensional being, because I operate in space-time. But there's more than... There's at least 10... There's 4 directly observable dimensions, 6 dimensions that are inferred, leading to a total of 10 in our known universe. How do you interact with beings out who are extra-dimensional, not extraterrestrial? Because that's what aliens are, in my opinion. That's what demons, aliens, whatever the fuck you want to call them. That's what they are.
I think they're just starting that right now, like the whole
but you realize what you're starting to infer when you get to that. I mean, now you're starting to talk about things like the Norse Tree of Life and the different worlds that they've visited being real.
Come on,
you know?
Come on. I mean, I remember talking like we're doing, and a DJ who was also an Indian said, "Yo, you don't realize what you're saying, but there is power in music because that's why do you think almost every like witch doctor uses that beat to enter into a zone, and then that zone lets you, because I remember somebody saying like everything's based on frequencies. Like if you notice, almost everything in science is interrelated. There's nothing you can't like cross apply, no matter what you do.
How about that, Agent? You just killed the CEO of the last organized threat to Manhattan.
I think a lot of people don't get, like...
Wasn't easy, and we lost a lot of good people, but you broke the
our
LNB's
consciousness
back.
is just an operating system for a
Nobody's
me
going to be sleeping
robot.
neighborhoods telling people join and die at gunpoint. Not without Bliss running the show. Still going to be squads of them out there, but without the big man, we can
talk about things like eternal life. Of course,
and
eternal life exists. You can't destroy energy. Well, that's what our soul is. It's energy. That's what runs the me robot.
Exactly.
Like you were saying earlier, that's... you talk about what... The eye is different than the glasses. The soul is just the computer software that runs the meat robot.
And the fact that people don't seem to get that, how can somebody be brain dead but their brain's still perfectly functioning. You don't know what's wrong with their brain, but they just not there anymore.
Yeah. Like the body's failing them, but the brain is there.
Well, that's what makes things, honestly, in my opinion, that's what makes things like Alzheimer's disease terribly frightening.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
then
there
again,
we don't know what's happening.
But then again, I think it's a lot like, you know how people in India are happy as hell without all the extra shit that we have in our lives, because they just don't know that there could be. I think there's like if you think about a level limit, there's like a cap on how much you expect out of shit. Like if I run, jump all this fast and shit, well, it's a ratio of cardio to whatever. But if my cardio is lower, do I really know that my cardio is lower? Not till I try to do something, right? Do I know that I can't accomplish it? What if you never will to try?
It's like what you're exposed to. It's what you know, what you're comfortable with. Like if you ask
but see, some of it's what you're taught. I think, like when you look at like little children, and the things that they come up with, their imaginary friends. What if their friend's not imaginary? What if there's a real being that they can that they have access to? And it's only through time and condition.
Exactly,
told that they don't exist, that they come to not exist.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly, man.
Whoa, yeah.
Exactly.
What if we can't fly because we've been told we can't fly? And you're talking about the greater democracy of the world at large. What if reality does work on a majority rules basis? And you say, we can't fly. Well, what if everybody, or if literally like half plus one people in the world tomorrow woke up and said, God damn it, today we can fly. And they all knew. They didn't believe, they didn't wish, they knew.
Right.
It was fact.
Let
motherfuckers would be out there doing Superman all over the place.
You want to know? Exactly, because how many people are told by a professional that they will never walk again and believe it?
Right,
and
exactly.
they don't.
And they don't. And it's because that's what they were told and they believed it.
And this one guy was told he would never walk again, and he competes professionally at the UFC level.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like our brains, our knowledge is limited. Like we're just on the cusp of knowledge. We don't know nothing.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But again, that's the meat robot. What the meat robot is limited to,
right,
is vastly different than what our consciousness
soul is limited to. Exactly.
Yeah.
Our soul is a 10th dimensional being. What's to say like we're not our what's to say we don't have bodies in extra dimensions that we don't know how to, that are apathy, like Matrix S, where we exist we know how to operate on this realm, but when we go into that realm, we can't move. We don't even know that What if flying isn't really flying, but it's moving on a different plane of existence?
It's like, have you heard of called miracle drug? What was it called? I keep on forgetting its name. DMT, DMT.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Drug? Yes, it DMT. Kind of, it's like my understanding is it kind of like reveals to you the fact that you are a pilot in the body. Yeah. It disassociates the two, so you're the pilot, and it like puts you in a state of being where you realize that you're in you don't have very good control over the meat robot.
And that's why the Bible, when they say no, don't do sorcery, what they're actually saying is don't do drugs. Because my personal belief is this. My personal
DMT belief is not even a drug. It's in nature. It's an actual thing in nature. It's actually something that you experience right before you die. You know when you know that saying where your eyes flash before your eyes and stuff like that?
You see your light flash before your eyes.
Yeah, that's actually a release of DMT into your mind, and that's what you see. So if you actually can harness that drug and then inject it wherever, then you're literally experiencing that over it could be like 5 minutes. You're experiencing it for 5 minutes.
We've made a pretty good team, I think. Done a lot for the city.
And then
A lot more
you'll
than people
literally
thought.
feel like it's
You and I both
it's
know
like
this isn't
hours
exactly a
or
happy
5
ending.
hours that
Our
have
favorite
gone by, but
homicidal
it's
traitor,
actually
Aaron
like just like
Keener,
a
is
couple
still
of
out there,
minutes.
and he's still got
And
Chernenko
that's like
with him.
it's just showing
Meet
you
Peter
how
Smile
much of a
sometime.
different
It's,
reality that you can
Quite
experience
interesting.
on such a
And
minimal
we don't know where
like
Amherst is either, or what
injection
else
of
he
the
might
drug.
have up his sleeve, but
The thing is, it's not even
there's
like
Dr.
people
Candle's got
say
the
it is quite
DCD on the road
addictive
to a
as well,
vaccine.
but it is
You
like
broke
a
the
whole
LMB's
different
back and the
Of
Cleaners
course.
and the Rikers
When
too.
you
We took the
get
city
released
back
from
like we
jail,
promised
who
we
the
would.
fuck wants to go into solitary
Not done yet.
confinement?
As long
I
as the dark
get
zone's
why
out
it's
there, we've got our
addicting.
work cut out for
That
us. But
there's
we're on our way
like
to
for
finally
me,
saving the city.
I don't do
And with
that
it.
sort of thing because I truly believe that
No, like this
the
is
limits
like,
on
this
my
is like,
mind was divinely engineered because there are lessons I can only learn in certain phases. Once I've learned that
No,
lesson,
like-
I can be promoted. But keep
like
going.
there's some like I'm thinking like the way the other people like people have thresholds, different people have thresholds. That's how I think about it in a sense. Like some people don't really need drugs to kind of access a higher level of being or a higher level state of mind. They're quite spiritual. They want knowledge, or even religion, or even like just a sense of comfort in the heart with something. And that makes them think completely different to how someone else would think. But some people just like require that more explicit. Because like what drugs do is that they force you to stay without you having that much control over it. So if you drink alcohol, you're gonna get drunk one way or another.
Right.
You cannot drink as much alcohol as you want. Sooner or later, you're gonna get drunk. There's no control over your body towards that. It's just gonna happen. But other people can control how they feel about how certain things. They like religion can be a part in where they can start thinking in ways where they normally don't. And maybe through religion they start thinking in ways they don't like to think in that way. Like maybe they become atheists to the point where they want something completely different than religion to access that higher state of mind. So everyone has like their own threshold of thought, I guess.
And see, that's why I don't advocate drugs, because
Yeah.
they're, how do I say it without sounding like a control freak? There is only one truth in life on anything.
It's like a weak way of it's like a weak sense of way to gaining a state of mind where you can reach on your own. You know what I mean?
But I think it's different. I think that there are as many divine paths to enlightenment as there are divine souls.
Yes.
Two paths are the same. Everybody's path is different. Some may or the use of substances to help them find it, reach it, get there. Others may not.
Yeah, like some people
ultimately, that's how I feel about it.
I guess
It's different for everybody.
I get what you're saying, but see, to me, this is where I believe the fallacy of if you take this, you will see things differently, but you don't realize that if you open this gateway, who's to say that the thing you see has not been engineered by something who has a vested interest in how you perceive the world?
Yeah. No, that's entirely possible. That is all part of the precautionary measures that you have to consider and take when ingesting such a thing. If you're going to go that route, you need to, be very careful. I don't like. I have used a lot of chemical drugs to achieve the state of mind that I have towards the world. I used to be, in high school, I was the highest order of jocks. Do you know what I mean? Like, It was all sports, all sports, all sports. I was a jerk. Every bad thing, like that was me. And it wasn't until I was made to question why I was doing the things that I was doing and why I was who I was that I began to understand that perhaps there's a better way to live. And I missed out on a lot of initial things that I could have learned from different people, and I played the little catch-up. And part of that catch-up was using drugs to help me understand things that take a lot longer for some people to understand.
Here we are, Agent.
Yeah.
We've made a pretty good team.
No,
I
like
think.
you can go
Done a lot for the
through
city.
like I know
thought we
people
could.
in my
You and I both know this isn't exactly a happy ending.
have taken
Our favorite homicidal traitor, Aaron Keener, is still out there, and he's still got Chernenko with him.
Rehab.
Read Keener's files
They
sometime.
pretty much fucked up
It's,
their lives.
Quite interesting.
Wasted so much of their
And
time.
we don't know where
trying
Amos
to,
is either, or what else he might
get out
have up
of
his sleeve.
a
But
drug that kind of just
But there's hope.
literally grabbed
Dr.
them
Candle's
by
got the
the heart.
DCD on the road to a
And then
vaccine. You
They
broke the
came out of
LMBs
the
back
other
and the
side
cleaners
completely
and the
different,
Rikers
completely
too.
like a
We
strong
took the city
person.
back like we
You know what I
promised
mean?
we would.
I
We're not done yet.
actually admire them.
As long
now
as the
that
Dark
they're-
Zone's out there,
they're-
we've got our work cut out
they've
for us.
kinda
But
gone
we're on our way to
gone
finally
through
saving the
that
city.
experience in
And
their
with it,
life, and
maybe
then actually
something more.
came out of the other end
Not bad for the second
and
wave.
became a person that is someone that I actually can look up to.
Unidentified shade tech beacon located.
And that's only happened because they were weak enough at a point in their lives where they had to take drugs. Do you know what I mean? So I don't see drugs as a bad thing. I see it as a means of getting you to where you need to be, I guess.
They're like any other tool. If you use them properly, there's not a problem. If you use it improperly, you're going to get hurt. That's how I feel about them.
Like, talking about DMT, actually, if you guys are, interested, there is actually a documentary about it, the Miracle Moth. It's quite interesting. You guys should, look into it. And there's actually a movie.
I have some friends that went down that road.
Yeah, it is.
I said, at this point in my life, I'm good. I haven't done any kind of hallucinogens in probably 10 years.
Way to go there. Gonna be a lot cooler.
It's just interesting. Not even, I would never touch something, never in my life. But it's just interesting, hearing what people experienced when they were on that drug. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Now we're cooking with gas. You are hereby officially my go-to agent for classing to join up.
Are you 30 yet, Sam? No, you're not 30. Whoa, we got to get that changed.
I'm literally an inch away from it.
This is great. With this stuff installed, we can really take care of business.
I discovered something interesting in some research that I had been doing into various spiritual paths years ago. The Kabbalistic, they have a tree of life, and represented by the many Sephiroth that were involved in it. It mirrors Norse tree of life a great deal, large in difference. And then that the Norse tree of life has 3 additional points on it that the Kabbalic tree of life doesn't.
What are the numbers above?
And I'm sorry.
What are the numbers above? How many do each have?
I believe the where does it go? I want to say it's 9 and 6. 12 and 9.
What is Kabbalic, by the way?
It's the offshoot of Judaism. It's an offshoot of Judaism. It's taking it's taking God and making him almost mathematic.
Yes.
Okay.
Very close to that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But the three that they were missing were the crown, were the ones that were above what they call the void. The Jewish one was missing these, and in the Norse they were there, and it was interesting to me because it was reflective in a lot of their mythology involved in it. Because in the Norse mythology, when you died, you could transcend that gap, and you could join the gods in Valhalla. You wouldn't necessarily be a god, but you would be with them. You would serve them. You would work. They don't have that option. You can't raise yourself up to that level.
And that's one thing I want to.
No, I got that backwards.
Go ahead.
I got that backwards because in the Kabbalah tree of life, you can reach that gap and gain that kind of enlightenment. And it's the Norse that you could never reach that level. You could, like I said, you could spend time with them. You could live with them. You could be in their realm. But you could never actually become one of them. And I thought that was a very interesting difference that they would have.
The funny thing about that is that in the Bible, when they were accusing Jesus of blasphemy, he said, "It's written in your laws that I called you gods." So, like, a lot of Christians don't.
People.
No,
Call
human
people
beings are gods.
Okay.
Like we were created. If you read Genesis, and I'm getting shot at. Hold up, I gotta go to a safe zone because this is complex thought that I want to make sure I get correct, especially since we're on the air. So hold up, give me a second. And I'm not gonna forget what I'm trying to say, because this is the crux of what I believe. This is one of the main reasons I will never use drugs, because I know that authority has been given to all of us.
As in like free will.
No. I do not speak. God has no need for deception. So he speaks very plainly, and it is those that are losing that need to play on words. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So now that I'm in the safe zone, this is what I'm saying. In Genesis, it says, on the 6th day, that God said, "Let us make man in our own image." Many people think that means let's make a copy of ourselves, a lesser form of ourselves. But if you read Job, right? You read Job. At the very beginning, Job says, this is my point. I'll say my point because I often get long-winded and forget my point in the first place. So I'm going to say my point first. What if God was not making lesser forms of himself, but he was saying, hey, I recognize all, Christians call God Father. You can't be a father if you don't have kids.
Yeah.
My first name is Konye. My last name is Abihiwe. My dad is an Abihiwe, but he is a higher Abihiwe in status than I am. But am I any less an Abihiwe than he is? If my father recognized it, technically in the natural state of things, I should be given a seat at my father's table to rule over all he has. To the level that my father trusts me. Does that make sense?
Because you're his son?
Exactly. I'm his child. Natural child. So when it says, let us make man in our own image, what if this man we're talking about was this meat tent that you were talking about? What if we all designed... Exactly. What if we all designed who we are? Many times in the Bible it says, before I was born, you knew me. Before I was in my mother's womb, you predestined me to this. Many people, there's a school of thought among Christians that there's a choice between free will and predestination. That it's either God knows you so well that He knows what you're gonna do, but you're still the one making the decisions, or God has already written the script and you're just playing it out. But what if it's not an either or thing? What if it's before time? I'm sorry, I just want to finish. Before time, you guys got together and said, "Hey, God." God was like, "Look, I want to give you more authority, but I can't give you more authority, and it would be fair to other people unless you kind of went through this trial to prove yourself worthy to whoever would ask questions." And it was like, "Okay, I think I can handle that." I was like, "All right, I'm just letting you know, if you fail, there are consequences, but I will do enough to ensure that you don't fail." And you're like, "All right, cool." And then you through whatever process that happened, you went to Earth, and this is what we're supposed to do. And somehow, through all the conditioning you're mentioning, we forgot our original purpose in life. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
Your attention, please.
I have. You probably touched on it just a bit, but like telling me, it kind of had like an analogy for me.
Hey, great job over at the consulate.
Free will and predestination is that there's two routes to how your life is going to pan out. There's a good route and there's a bad route. In every crossroad where there's a good and bad, there is actually a decision when you have to make to take either route. Both of them exist. Both of them exist in your life. You can take either or. God knows the ending of both those routes. It is your free will to pick which one you want to go, like which route you want to go. He knows where you're going to end up and which route, and either way you're going to go, either right or left. But,
I think it was Jeremiah. I think it was Jeremiah who said this, or God said it to Jeremiah, where He was like, "Look, I'm calling you to be a watchman over my people Israel. Your job is not to convince people to do right. Your job is to tell the righteous man he's sinning, and your job is to tell the wicked man he's sinning. If the righteous man repents of his sin, I will not hold him against him, and he will go into glory. He will not be judged. If the righteous man does not know because you did not tell him, and he fails, I will hold that on your hands." Vice versa. If the wicked man doesn't repent but you told him, well, blood's not on your hands. If the wicked man does not repent because you did not tell him, blood's still on your hands because you did not do what I told you to do. So in that, I was shown both two things. That there are people predestined to heaven and there are people predestined to hell. And however that happened, I think they were already complicit because of a parable Jesus said where He was like, "Look, a farmer one day planted some seeds in his land. Then his enemy came and planted tares. When it came down to and they were both growing together, the harvest was like, hey, his worker was like, hey, somebody planted these tares. Do you want me to root these out?" And he was like, no. If you do that, you'll root out the good as well as the bad. So let them both grow together, and then at the very end, we judge them all. In my opinion, those who were, we've all talked to people who don't believe what we believe, and there are people who react very violently to it. And there are people who will downplay you and insult you and yada 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 whatever. In my opinion, and I'm just having this epiphany right now as I'm talking to you, so I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna say the epiphany and skip my opinion. What if the whole purpose of the creation what if one of the purposes of the creation of Earth was not just to develop a more powerful child of God, but to rob from the enemy's camp? Because imagine the lure would be to give Satan the ability to control people who have authority in God's house, actual authority, where I don't have to ask God to manifest things on this earth. I can just do what I want. Technically, Jesus says, hey, if you speak an idle word, you will be held accountable because of what happened. So what if Satan was like, because we've all seen raves and we've all seen these little things. Raves to me look like ancient idol worship. That's what that looks like to me. When I hold these two side by side, they look the same to me. You got this one dude conducting worship. You got all these people tranced up on shit, and they're all, who knows what the fuck is going on in the spiritual world, because the lights, the colors, it all looks the damn same to me. Case in point, that massacre that happened in Paris with that rock band, that shit looked like some satanic sacrifice to me. That's just me.
Yeah.
So, what if
but
Satan...
At the same time,
go ahead.
At the same time,
go ahead.
You believe...
Satan didn't even appear in the Bible.
He didn't? You sure?
Didn't come around there when they spoke of the enemy, but Satan didn't appear in the Bible until Faust wrote about him. And the church took what Faust wrote about the Bible and put it into took what Faust wrote and added stuff like that, the 9 layers of hell, all that stuff. No, did it before.
I don't know about nothing about the 9 levels of hell. I don't know about that. What did Faust write though? That's what I need at. Before I say what I gotta say, I need to know
what he wrote about. The
what
deal,
did he say?
The whole deal about making a deal with the devil and the devil screwing you on it, and the tortures of the different the layers of hell and how each one was different.
Are you talking about the what is it? What's that one where homeboy Dante's Inferno type shit? Are you talking about that?
Yep, that's part of it. Yep.
Oh, so did Faust write something and then somebody wrote Dante's Inferno? Or
no, I believe that Faust wrote Dante's Inferno.
Okay. So
and that was so popular at the time, and the church saw it as a way that they could help continue to control the masses, and they add embellished parts of the Bible.
Because from what I heard,
information from it.
The guy who wrote Dante's Inferno was so pissed off at the Roman Catholic Church that he said, because they were so corrupt, that he said, look, all the things you do in secret, there are different degrees of punishment for the shit you do. And there are 9 layers of hell, and he's just talking mad shit about it. It's almost like, it almost, to me, the way it should read should be like an Eminem diss of fucking Mariah Carey. It should be like, yo, that's how I read Dante's Inferno. Like, look, Pope, you're shitty. Like, in the book of Job, it clearly states Satan talking to God, trying to accuse Job of whatever. In the Gospels, Satan obviously tempts Jesus, but then again, he indwells a man and goes and betrays Jesus. There's multiple allusions to this
version of the Bible that you've read, right, recently. Publication of the Bible.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
You're reading the modern publication that's been altered through time by mankind. Yeah. The original version of the Bible, you can't even have access to. It's been translated through so many different languages, it couldn't possibly be the same book. It can't possibly contain the same knowledge. You look at translation from
I get
one
what you're saying, but they got
another.
the Septuagint version of the Bible, which is 300 years before Jesus' birth, and it pretty much coincides with a lot. I mean, there's definitely some translational issues, which, as I learn more about it, the prophecies make more and more sense. But everything I've studied about the Bible cross-correlates itself to such a degree that whatever they're trying to misconstrue does not change the original message. Like, there's still an enemy out there, whether his name is Satan, whether Satan represents a Congress, whether it represents this ideal, this dark energy, whatever the hell it is, it's a motivating force to the destruction of the world as we know it, and all worlds. Like, if you heard of this, you guys have heard about CERN, right?
CERN, as in
CERN.
Yeah, the
like
European Nuclear Energy. Yeah, those people. Like, if you look into what they're doing, they claim they're trying to learn about the God particle and all that, but there's other people who say CERN is doing. They're scared CERN's willing to open up a black hole to do whatever the hell they're doing, pretty much. And a lot of them.
So you talk about like Doom.
I'm talking about something that reads like Revelations, like they're we've been talking about, we're supposed to become gods and all that stuff, right? Well, CERN is actively trying to, like, I guess I can't remember how, like, I don't remember.
It seems to me that the whole point of, like, the God particle was less of an actual thing, like we're trying to find God or a part of him,
right?
And it was a reference that somebody used and it just stuck.
No, I know. I'm not talking about the God part. I'm talking about, like, these are, like, say I was trying to build a computer, but I accidentally discovered that you can make a calculator.
Well,
it's not. That's not my original purpose. Yeah.
A lot of science works. I mean, let's be honest. America, we go back to, I mentioned that they dropped 2 nuclear. When they tested the first bomb, they weren't entirely sure that they weren't going to destroy the world as we know it, because it was going to start an atomic chain reaction that never stopped.
Right.
They were like 50-50 on it, and they're like, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff that like mankind doesn't know. Like, whenever Y2K came along, people thought that shit was gonna go down. When 2012 came along, people were like, "Oh my God, the Mayans said that we're gonna die." So it's just
I get it. But see, the thing is, it goes along with Bible prophecy so well that, like, Jesus has constantly been saying, as in the days of Noah, so shall the last days be. Now, one of the things most people don't understand about the days of Noah is one of the things that people don't even, like, a lot of people who are fundamental Christians, who are basic entry-level Christians, don't even know there's a book of Enoch. And in this book of Enoch, Enoch talks about the last days. And it correlates with what Daniel said, that there was a mixing of seeds. Now, it says it in Genesis. There's like a simple sentence where it says, the sons of God saw the daughters of man, that they were attractive, and that they made children with them, and these were called the mighty men of renown. But we know our mythology. We know that there are minotaurs, and there are tales of minotaurs and tales of these half-breeds and all these whatevers, but nobody can find them. Whatever.
What do they call them? The Nephilim.
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing is, and I'm sure there's this book called The Harbinger, or whatever, written by Michael Kahn, or whatever his name is, where he was saying 9/11 was orchestrated as a sign to repent. Now, we all probably believe 9/11 is an inside job or whatever. I mean, every major war that happens in America since World War, I think, I has been a false flag attack, based on a false flag attack. So that's not news to me. To me is, why would somebody say that this whole mixing of seeds thing, like Daniel said it, he pretty much foretold the history of from Babylon to now. Even so much so that we got the Roman Empire never truly breaking apart, and that the Vatican is pretty much an embassy in every country and has pretty much runs the world through shadow organizations. Because they got too much money and too much influence and too much power, and their people get away with fucking murder. So they have to have actual power, because let a Mormon rape a boy, he's going to jail, straight up. So,
yeah. Have you heard about actually what was that? The movie, that movie called Spotlight. You touched upon it, like, just a bit, like how, like, churches in America were covering up like the activities of priests, like molested childs, like molesting children.
No, right.
Like how it was like a big, like a really big, like deal, and not a lot of, like, it didn't really gain that much traction after it had been revealed.
Of course not, because see, that's the thing. Like Jesus foretold all this in the book of Revelation. If you read the book of Revelations, chapter 2 and 3, and you see the way he talks to each of the 7 churches, that looks just like church history. Now, I don't know what people can say. The Bible's been modified and all this and all that, but you can't tell. Like, we've got pretty good documentation for the past millennium. We know how things have been modified and edited. You can't tell me that the fact that Jesus was able to, if you isolate the different segments of church history and then say how it's been influenced from the early church, where people were talking amongst it like us in our house, like, yo, Jesus is God. I don't know about that. Yo, just try him out and find out. Man, I don't want that, and I don't want none of that Mary Kay makeup either. All right, whatever. All right, fine. Then you come back. Then later on, he's like, yo, all right. Yo, I'm sick. Yo, you try talking to me. I don't want to hear about no Jesus. Yo, just try him out on your cancer, man. Just try him. I promise you he'll do something. He does something, right? He's like, are you serious? He did? I've been telling you. So it happens like that. That whole, yo, we just talking and then Jesus some magic happiness happens, right? Then it moves on to the, like, Jesus is gaining traction. The whatever we all know most things that most religious persecutions are really just politicians doing what they want and needing a scapegoat. That's really what it boils down to. So the Romans, Christianity was growing, and when you have a religion that preaches nonviolence, you can pretty much do whatever you want to them, and their truest believers should not attack, right? It makes perfect sense. Yeah. So you end up persecuting these people, saying that they're the reason why Rome burned down and yada yada, all this nonsense, and it's because of them our culture is dying and we need to do this because they're not pledging allegiance to Caesar like you're supposed to. All right, fine. That's foretold. That's the second church. The third church, I call it right after what's his name? The last emperor of Rome, who said he saw the sign of the cross in the sky and all that other nonsense. Right once he made Christianity legal, that's when the church became more of what you know it today. With all the political influence, because now it was cool to be a Christian. Now Christians could walk around publicly, and they even had some political clout. So now they're all wielding authority in the state like nobody's business. But that's not what Christ called them to do. That's compromise. And he calls out that church, I forget what the church is called, saying, look, you need to not compromise on these things. You need to stick to the basics. Don't let idolatry seep in. Because what he did to make it more accessible, of course, if you let Christianity be legal, and Christians are known for their true Christians are separatists, straight up separatists. Well, you need to mix the beliefs of both. Easter is not a Christian thing because Christianity is fundamentally Jewish.
Yeah, correct.
So
Christmas, I mean, the list goes on.
Christmas, yeah, exactly. You guys are educated. Christianity is fundamentally Jewish, but now all of a sudden Christianity takes on some pagan roots. Okay,
yeah, a whole
cool.
lot.
Yeah, exactly. Christianity becomes pagan, and that's. But then it goes to a whole new level with the Catholic Church. Now, not only
people who are Christians of any stripe there willing to say those words right there.
Exactly. Which words? Let me know. Ah, shit.
The ones about it being picking up so much pagan.
Yeah. It's unrecognizable. Christianity then was unrecognizable to Jews. You couldn't have called it that. But then Roman Catholicism took that and took it to a whole new level. Like whatever Christianity was before Roman Catholicism was what healthcare used to be before Obamacare happened. Obamacare completely fucked up healthcare. Roman Catholicism
I disagree.
Fucked up. Okay, you can.
No. Big business fucked up healthcare. Obamacare is trying to make it accessible for people that can't afford it otherwise.
Is that what they told you? Because from what I've heard,
it's supposed to be doing.
That's what
it's doing for my girlfriend.
I work in the healthcare industry, and the amount of people it fucks compared to the amount of people it helps is ludicrous. Like, I'm sure
that's because big business has its hooks in it. That's not what Obamacare was supposed to do. Those are the concessions that were made to get what they got passed through the system.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Right?
I'll give you the good intentions.
The original intent of Obamacare was to get health care for the masses at an affordable price. Big business, big pharma said, fuck off with that noise. We have to make money. We have to keep getting dividends for our shareholders, and they fucked it up.
Well, it's like you're trying to create a fantasy in a world where
exactly
people don't agree with that. Do not
exactly.
agree with that. Like, and the people that don't agree with it are the people that are the people that are going to be funding it. You know,
that's what
not in the sense of the American people, not in the sense of the American people, but not in the sense of like the billionaires, the companies, the people that are going to be paying for it, and they don't want that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, you can say with the Roman Catholic Church becoming the state church, we can say, oh, the hope was to teach Christianity to this, and you know who fucked it up was the fact that human beings are greedy and all. But at the end of the day, Roman Catholicism is the ultimate form. Is like, there is so much dirt. It is so fucking dirty.
Yeah.
Like it is.
Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to stick up for them.
No, I know you're not. But that's what like. The fact that you can defend Obamacare, I'm not saying what it could have been. I don't even want to go into that sidebar of what Obamacare is. But people who defend Roman Catholicism, to me, sound like you defending Obamacare. That's cool. That could have been the intent. But look at what actually happened. Was the concessions worth it? Would it not have been better to just throw away the bill and just been like, look, throw it away and leave them what they have health care. It's called Medicare. If you wanted to fix health care, you fix Medicare. You don't force those
that doesn't cover as many people.
So make it do so. Like,
we've got a lot of hostiles inside.
Don't fuck those who are happy to make those who aren't happy. Make it so that those who aren't happy have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying that it's even possible, because you have to fuck somebody over, but the level, I don't see the ratio is equal. Like, one person who's poor has a deductible of $300 now, or middle class, I should say, middle class, because to me, middle class is the trying poor, I should call them. Their deductible is $300. Now it's $700. $700.
$700 a year.
No, $700 a month for a family of 4.
A month?
Yes.
A month?
What? Month. Yes.
Yeah, like a family of 4. It's ridiculous.
Yes. And this is under the new this is under Obamacare, the thing that's supposed to save people. So, like I'm saying, this doesn't affect the poor because the poor are subsidized. It doesn't affect the rich because they're private. This affects the middle class. Everything that happens, no matter what the intentions are, no matter how the PR sells it, destroys the middle class. Whether it's from the bottom up or the top down, it attacks the middle.
And the bottom isn't really trying to attack the middle class.
No, they're not trying to.
Upper class that's fucking us.
No, the upper class doesn't care what it looks like because they're rich. Fuck you. The lower class, the only way to con the lower class is to say, hey, we gotta try, but you know it's gonna take some sacrifices. So bite this bullet, and hopefully it works out. And then all of a sudden, there's complications.
I would be happy to tighten my belt when I get to tighten it around their scrawny necks.
And that's what I'm saying. There is, they say, hey, we're gonna fit. Hey, have patience with us. You tell me the government couldn't have a working website to get people registered for Obamacare? How many times was that pushed back? If that's how bad it was for a working website, you knew this program was fucked since the jump. You knew it. That, to me, that is that is the biggest simile I have to Roman Catholicism, to what Christianity was supposed to be. Christianity was supposed to take people who knew they had a problem but did not know the solution and give it to them free of charge and tell them it's even better than what I'm telling you it could be. But what it became instead was, look, because there are certain things God gave away some secrets to actual having authority on this planet. He told you, like when he multiplied the food for the masses, the only thing he did was he gave thanks to God for what he did. You want to know what that tells me? The glass is neither half empty nor half full when you're mentally looking at a situation. It is going to be filled soon. If you act as if you're going to get a paycheck on the 1st and 15th, do you give a fuck that you only have $20 today when you're supposed to get paid tomorrow? Fuck no. You live in that freedom, right? You spend that 20 on gas. You might not have shit in your pocket but a fucking Lunchable. But you know that's good enough for today because I'm getting paid tomorrow and we eat now. And you've already made plans to eat out with this girl you've been looking at. And you've already paying your bills and shit, right? That's what Christianity was supposed to be. You can live in true freedom. You're no longer ashamed of your desires because you know that God, if God's in charge of everything and you have these desires, God gave it to you. So stop feeling guilty about it. You can now live without feeling like you're a piece of shit. Yes, you are sinning. Yes, you do want to do things that are contrary to His will. But it is in the destroying of those habits that you learn something about the heart of God, which gives you another digit into the bank account God put in your name. That's how I see it.
What's the point, like, by saying that, what's the point in having a hell or a heaven?
Segregation.
If God is giving you all these like gifts of life that you can go and experience without the consequences of
there is consequences. There's definitely consequences, but it's like this. Like the purpose of heaven and hell is just simple segregation. You think you know some people who are truly like not happy in this life, right? Who no matter what you do, they don't have a solution for shit, even though you know how much authority they have in their own life. Do you really want to surround yourself with that? Do you think it's beneficial for you?
It's so ironic because those people that have the most problems in their life, that trying to advocate like the most inspiration in other people's lives or in other forms of like media or like social like they'll like I have friends of mine that would post like inspirational quotes after inspirational quotes, but their life is shit. Like shit. Yeah. Like they do not go by the mean by the.
They don't do what they say.
The word they're trying.
Fuck no.
Yeah,
they don't
exactly.
do what they say.
Exactly. Which is just ironic. Like it's just ironic. But I can understand in the sense where, like, if like how you said, like if God gave you these kind of rights,
and you threw it away. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
I get you.
Well, then you obviously don't want, because he said it like this: those who have and use it will get more. Those who have and those who don't have, the little they do have will get taken away from them. What is hell? Hell is honestly, it's just giving you what you've always wanted. Like, I personally believe everybody is motivated by because like we were saying, the soul is you, but the mind is not you. So if the mind is not you, but you communicate with that mind to communicate to that body to operate in this world, what else can communicate with that mind and act like you? How many times do these people with mental disorders say, oh, I tried to be up, but I can't be because it felt like this shroud of this. And I'm not even trying to be insulting. I know my voice changed a little, but it's written in the Bible. Simply put, the cure to depression is praising God. Seriously, it literally says you praise God, and this shroud of what, I forget where it is, but it was when I read that, I started praising God, and all of a sudden I was like, the word ain't that shitty. Like I felt like this cloud over my consciousness kind of got lifted, because everybody describes depression the same way. It feels like this heaviness and this, and it's so difficult to feel the motivation to move. You know what that is? That's you not knowing that you have options in life. Something is intentionally telling you that there's no hope for you. And when you have no hope, you have no reason to try.
But I feel like that's like that reasoning comes as a result of you trying, like, leading a materialistic life, like not a spiritual one. Do you know what I mean?
I get it, but then I also, on the flip side, I'm like, what is spiritual? What?
Spiritual in the
So
sense,
I feel like I have a spiritual life, but I don't ever go to church. I don't read the Bible. Good.
But I'm asking you, how define spiritual?
Spiritual in the sense that you feel comfortable in the sense where you don't really need any kind of form of materialistic items that the world is giving you to feel important in the sense of where your life is taking you. Do you know what I mean? That you feel like you are like you have a purpose without the need of the
need of a scoreboard called materials.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Like, so if I have a better car or it doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm happy in my life. It doesn't matter if I live in a big house in a small house. What matters is what I feel about how I whenever I wake up, what I'm doing on a daily basis, who I've tried to, like, please, either God or my wife or my children or my peers, or even people that I'm just walking by on a daily basis and trying to make an impression on other people. That's the purpose that I think someone describes, not the purpose that you're just trying to live extravagant as possible.
If you don't mind me saying this, I feel like there's some hidden pretension from people who say that. Like, they don't realize that.
Yeah, I get you. Like, they like to say that, but in the sense they don't actually
No. It's not a hypocritical thing. They truly believe that their standard is better than the other person's standard.
In the sense of like, materialistic or spiritual?
Both camps, actually, but one just knows that it's not popular to say that. Like, I'll say it like this: it's the spiritual person is the guy who uses gold for currency. The materialistic person is the guy who uses dollar for currency. But but the gold person, it's almost as if the gold person forgets that what they value is still considered currency.
But in a sense, like, if you're striving towards a goal, doesn't that mean you're striving towards a purpose in life?
That depends on what the goal is, I think.
But and this is where I had to learn what wisdom was, because this is where one of the verses in the Bible made perfect sense after I analyzed this. What is your purpose? If you don't know who runs things, then how can you align your purpose to the one that won't destroy it if it goes against his? Because you can have a purpose, but if you're not as powerful as Donald Trump, he's gonna fuck your shit up, and your purpose was meaningless.
Yeah, definitely.
So therefore, it's like, go ahead.
That's the thing that I'm struggling with in my life right now. That to find the purpose that is meaningful for me, to the point where I'm like,
it's worth sacrificing your life, your decision and your will towards.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because that's
what I'm.
Go ahead.
even if it's like something that even if it's something that's so simple, but if it's something that makes me feel like I want to do it for the rest of my life.
Right. Hey, I get it. The Buddhists are very popular with willing to be janitors because that's part of the grand plan of all of existence. There's X amount of need for janitors, and I'm willing to be that guy. I don't need the glory, in other words. And my answer to that is this. You got to find. This is what I said this when I was younger, and I was actually surprised at how simplistic it's. I knew it was simplistic, and at first I thought it was selfish, but then I realized it's just true. Find the most powerful being in the universe and try to make yourself useful to him.
And then through that you'll find
purpose. You find purpose because the most powerful being in the universe will not let whatever he does go to waste. Period.
Okay.
If he does, then he's not the most powerful being in the universe, so you need to find somebody else.
Yeah.
And there are certain.
So how can that not be? How can that not be like what you embed in your own being? How you feel about yourself as a human being?
Like how can you not project God, yourself on the God? Is what you're saying?
How can you not project yourself into the feeling that you are in a state where you think you're the most powerful person in the world? Do you know what I mean? And you believe it.
Oh, how do you stay? Oh, I see. How do you maintain that sobriety so you don't have that hubris over all the things you do? Do something, and if it fails, you know that you're not the most powerful being in the universe. Like I mean, that I feel like it's simple, but like that's a simplistic way of saying what you. I know there's a more complicated way of saying it, but like Jesus himself said, the kingdom of God. These children, if you want to enter the kingdom of God, you got to be like a child. And children aren't that. They don't have complex thoughts like all this philosophy shit. It's very basic and simple. They'll say the wisest things, not even realizing it, why it sounds so wise, because to them it's like, 2 + 2 is 4. Here we are, boggled at the mind that x plus b squared equals yada yada, but when you simplify the equation, it's just 2 + 2 = 4. It's us that add all this extra variables and random shit to it. Then they're like, how can it? No. Okay. You must have forgot that this is just the way 2 looks like in a fraction form.
I guess
so.
We're the ones that are complicating it.
Not we. Like I said, the most powerful the way I've learned about God and the way I've learned about Satan have been the same. If it's one person's characteristics to be simple, it's the other person's characteristics to be complex.
Yeah.
Because for the simple fact that the opposite of most powerful being in the universe obviously needs. He can't enforce his will. He has to con his way through everything he gets.
Yeah. This comes back to what you were saying about like you.
That's why I don't like drugs. Because the rabbit hole is deep, and I don't know all the different material. If I don't understand the universe without drugs,
that's why I quit doing drugs.
If I don't understand,
I found out the rabbit hole went places it didn't need to go, that I wasn't trying to look.
Exactly.
That's when it was time to stop.
Exactly.
Not everybody has the ability to make that choice.
There's no frame of reference for the rabbit hole. Like if I go into Saudi Arabia and I look around, it looks weird, but I still know down is down, up is up, that is ground, and water still looks like this, and this place has none, so I need to run.
But I believe that a properly trained mind does know the difference.
Of course.
The problem is that
who's
now
the trainer?
You have to find the appropriate trainer.
And that's what I'm saying.
There were times when great swaths of humanity had such trainers readily available to them, but slowly through time they have been eradicated and removed.
But that's what I'm saying as well, man. Because
to me, that is a loss of knowledge and a loss of a great tool that could have aided
let me take
thousands of millions of people.
Let's take that a little bit further by going backwards. Atheism is the most modern religion in the world, correct?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
it's a belief. It's a belief system, isn't it? You have to believe that no God exists. You can't prove it. You can claim it's scientific, but I have science tell me that causality dictates that there must be something eternal. By the very fact that nothing never makes anything other than nothing, or else I can't sue the food industry whenever there's mold in my shit, because that's just the laws of science naturally happening. Yet I promise you... Go ahead.
It might not be like the most... It might not be the most modern, but it could be the most, like...
recent.
The one that is kind of like...
Well,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Even
most
then, I don't know
recent
what it's
attraction.
most
You
recent.
get what I'm saying. Stop picking it apart, man. Shit.
Well, that's kind of what we're doing at this whole thing. Ticking back and forth.
But keep
it's
going.
Probably like the one that kind of gaining a bit more traction.
Right.
Like a lot of people are kind of like coming out about it.
Are we gonna shoot some shit? I mean, I'm just,
You can send me an invite. I don't mind watching you because I'm too busy talking. But
digital picture stuff.
But what is it? So you have atheistic teachers who can give you theory upon theory and all these other things about something that we personally believe is not true, and we personally believe can never be true, no matter how much complicated shit you try to string along with it. But there are people taking this hook, line, and sinker who wouldn't have taken it if they didn't have these dudes with nice pedigrees feeding it to them. So when you say that there were guides in the past who were skilled enough at guiding you through, to me, they are just part of the system of control that's put in the world to lead you away from God. Because God, when you have a father, you don't need an intermediary to talk to him. You just go and talk to him.
Yeah.
All these other religious systems have this sort of hierarchy where you got to talk to this guy, to this guy, to this guy. By the time you get promoted enough,
that's no different than the Christian church. What are you talking about?
That's no different than the Roman Catholic Church. That's no different than the. You're right. I'm not. That's no. Yes and no, because like I said, I'm not a fan of Christianity, and I'm not a fan of Roman Catholicism.
The difference there is that, say, a Native American shaman. You didn't go to him and go, hey, I need you to talk to God for me. You went to him and you said, I need you to help me talk to God.
Okay.
And he said, I'm going to help you talk to God. Right? Okay. And the difference, that's a huge difference, because in all these other things, the Roman Catholic Church, most Christianity churches, they do the talking to God, and they do the talking for God, which is all bullshit and why I don't prescribe to any of that crap. They don't help you talk to God.
Right.
They do the talking for you and for God, which is where things are fucked up.
Which is another thing. Like, if people would just read their Bibles, they would know that God foretells that this will happen. Like I was talking about the history of the church, the next part of the church that God foretold happening, the Roman Catholic Church, sought actual authority on this earth by leveraging our fear of disappointing God to its utmost. Like, it was straight up
doing that for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Like, it says there's a prophetess Jezebel who is trying to lead you in all these things. If you know about if you read the Bible and you know about Ahab and Queen Jezebel, you might remember this story about a vineyard that Ahab really wanted, but he's a Jew. But this prophetess, this Queen Jezebel, who's not a Jew, says, look, why are you pouting? I'm going to get it for you. And pretty much has what can be simply called an inquisition, where this guy gets falsely accused, his shit gets stolen, his bloodline is killed, and it gets transferred directly to the king. And if we all know about the medieval times, we all know that's all the Roman Catholic Church did, was have inquisition after inquisition, stealing people's shit and taking it. Straight taking it. So we all know That's exactly what happened. And so when people tell me that, like they judge the Bible by the deeds of the church, I get it,
like
but then it's like
a religion should be an embodiment of your own self. It shouldn't be an embodiment of the church or a priest or whatnot. Like a religion is something that guides you through life. It doesn't guide you to the church so that you can go
exactly.
to the person.
Exactly.
To God. Nah,
like
that's bullshit. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like Jesus, I just read this recently. I can't believe I missed it because I've read plenty of times where it's like, look, don't call. Jesus said himself, don't call any man father, but there's only one Father. But there's a part I missed where it's like, and don't call any man instructor except for Christ, the Anointed, which means there is nobody who's going to give you truth but me. Everybody else can just share their experiences, but this is what I truly believe. God is light, pure light. God is pure love. This is like A equals B equals C. We are versions of that light, but we aren't pure light. So I might be more red, orange, you might be a little bit of violet, and homeboy might be green. When I tell my story, you don't get it. Or you think I'm lying, or you think it's kind of fucked up, or there's some vices in it that just we don't coincide because red orange has no mixture with, like if we mix, we gonna make black. That's what we gonna do. We gonna make black. We're supposed to focus on him, but then I don't know. It gets whatever. Anyway, you were talking about purpose. I got a little sidetracked. You got a little sidetracked because, like, to me, purpose was one of the hardest things for me to discover until I realized that purpose is what you're already doing. You just have to. It's not what you do. It's who you do it for. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Because I'm not a person that does anything for myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that kind of a person. Like if I was, then I can easily live my life very. But I'm not really the kind of person that does anything for my parents. Like, even though, like, I'm not very, purposeful guy. Like, I don't, like, anything that I do is not without a purpose. It's not with a purpose. It's just because I want to do it and not because I have to. Do you know?
Right.
And in some sense, it kind of puts me in a path where I'm like, well, I just want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And it doesn't matter if it's good or not. Like, as long as it makes me feel good about myself, which is kind of like, it's kind of not the way I would like to kind of go about living my life, but it is how it is. It might not be in some sense unhealthy to the point where it's actually damaging other people's lives, but it's enough to kind of put me in a state where I'm like, oh, what am I doing with my fucking life? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Like when you sober up or look back at the experience, you're like, did I really do that? Like, why am I making decisions that don't seem to pay any sort of actual dividends? I get what you're saying.
Exactly.
Because
Like at the moment, I'm not. I'm like, I could say I'm an agnostic. Like, I believe that there's a God, but not the one that, not if it's
right.
If it's Allah, if it's Jesus, if it's whatnot. It doesn't matter to me as long as I know that there's someone. Like, I know that there's someone out there that made this world. That this world can't be like made on accident. I know I'm sure of that, but. What religion? I feel like religion and what God says is, for me, it's like a bit two different things. Like, religion is like a guide to like guide you to God, and then God is like I feel like you shouldn't need God. You shouldn't need a religion.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it. So that's why I don't really I don't really care if I'm Christian or like Muslim. Like, it doesn't matter to me as long as I have like some kind of communication or like a form of like speech. Like, interaction with him, then that's fine by me. And that's the thing, like a lot of people think that, well, not think, but they say like through going to church, through praying and through asking God, that enlightens, that makes your faith a lot more stronger, and then that makes you feel like that you understand God better.
It does.
And then you start to live your life in a sense of where you're having a bit more of a purpose.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because the way it's written in the Old Testament, because Levitical law, it like got back. I'm gonna give you a little back foundation for why I'm saying this. Jesus said you speak of the law when you're trying to convince yourself that you say you're masters of the law, and you say I'm blaspheming. But if you knew the law, you know everything speaks of me. One of the things it says in the book, in the Torah, was that you do these things because I am God, because I am the one that purifies you. Like I realize that you're never going to get potent truth. The Bible is like water, and through all these translations, like Boy was saying, like Rev was saying, there have been mistranslations, whether it's intentional or unintentional, over the most petty of things to the most important of things. It has been broken down so that you're not getting water per se. You might be getting Gatorade at best. Let's just call it Gatorade. We all know Gatorade is useful, but that shit ain't water. That ain't water.
Yeah.
So when you need to cure the cold, you're not going to drink Gatorade, because you probably want to decongest yourself. Well, if all you have is Gatorade, it's not going to solve your problem, and you're not going to notice its power to do so. Long story short, that will motivated me to start looking it up in actual Hebrew. One of the things it says is that God, when they say Almighty God or whatever, it's the God who sustains. Because many people say, yo, if God's almighty, then how come I suffer? No, that's not what he calls. He calls himself the all-sustaining one. Which means whatever you're going through, I'm going to help you with it. And you're going to get through this. Now...
But not necessarily that I'm going to solve it.
Because the only reason you're in these problems is because you're not leveraging your authority correctly. If you were leveraging your authority correctly, you wouldn't be in these problems. But the fact that you're in these problems means you can learn how to leverage your authority correctly, so that you no longer need me to walk you through the hand. Anyway, let me not sidetrack. So one of the things was like, I am the one who cleanses you. God used this one time, and he said it, and it got me, because here is pretty much all he's saying is, if you obey the things I tell you, I will fix you. The natural process of obedience fixes you. But if you don't obey, the natural process of disobedience destroys you. It's almost as if he's saying your life is governed by the laws of thermodynamics. And here,
but that's a little different. Obey me and all is well. Don't obey me and your life is forfeit. That seems to me a little too human and not enough omnipotent being. Why does he need to have this kind of control over me? That just doesn't. That's some of the stuff that never sat well. That never made sense to me.
Okay, I get that,
or go to hell. Your ego as an omnipotent being is so small and fragile that my worship is gonna, impact you to such a way that if it doesn't please you, you're gonna torture me for the rest of eternity.
No,
that's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
And see, that's right. It doesn't. So it must be wrong, right? Our perception on why he wants us to do it must be wrong. Hold up, why? What happened? Anyway, his perception on why he wants to do it must be wrong, because that definitely doesn't correspond with love. Love does not need you to do anything, because it is happy doing things for you. I personally believe the only reason we're given such a long life to fuck off is because of the fact that it wouldn't be just to send you to hell after your first sin. even if he knew you weren't going to repent. I mean, if you notice, a lot of wicked people have a lot of nice things when a lot of good people don't have a lot of nice things. And for a long time, it was like, I mean, David said it, but in the book of Psalms, but it never sat well with me. Till it was like, look, if wicked people don't only do wicked things, and good people don't only do good things. They both do an amalgam of both.
Sure.
Well, if you were going to heaven for the rest of eternity, and you have done bad things, you're still accountable for the bad you have done. When would you suffer the consequences of the bad you've done if you go to a place that's all good for the rest of eternity, if not on earth? And that's one of the things, like, it hit me, like, okay.
Sorry, I just got cut off there.
Yeah, no problem. I was saying that, well, I never actually I haven't yet touched on the point he was saying, but I'll just keep going because this all come through. So, like, good people go through shitty things on earth because, well, the balance needs to be fair. And bad people get a lot of good shit on earth because they're never going to get it in hell, period. They're going to get the just fruits of their rewards. So if ever Okay, and now to touch on the reason why God wants you to obey him. He wants you to obey him mainly because, well, if you love him, you'd obey him, not because you're afraid of him, but because you want to make him happy.
No, so that's not how that works. That is some fucked up relationship dynamics.
Is it?
I love my girlfriend. I'm not going to obey her because I want her to be happy. I'm going to do nice things for her because I want her to be happy.
You're going to do what makes her happy. You're not going to do nice things for her.
No.
If you want her to be happy, you got to
tell me not to tickle her. No. She tells me not to tickle her all the time. I tickle the shit out of her
because that makes her happy. I didn't say
no. It makes me happy.
Hey, wait. It doesn't make her happy to be tickled by you?
No, she hates it.
So why hadn't she called the cops on you?
She laughs.
Why doesn't she call the cops? You get what I'm saying?
It's not so terrible.
It's a bigger picture thing.
It's not so terrible that I need to go to jail for it.
But it's a bigger picture thing, right? She loves you enough to give you the things that make you happy.
So what about the 5-year-old kid that's dying from cancer? What terrible, terrible, terrible thing did that 5-year-old kid do that they deserve to die from cancer? How did they offend God so much that they got to die from cancer? God?
Why do you say it like this life is something you would wish on your best friend?
That's something he did.
I would rather go to heaven now than keep living. Honestly, living is the sacrifice I give to God because he asked me to do so for his glory. I would rather go to heaven.
When you're 5 years old dying of cancer, you don't look at it that way. It's a whole different ball game.
Okay, and when you're giving birth to a child, you don't give a fuck that you're going to be walking her down the aisle. You don't give a fuck that she's going to give you grandkids. You don't give a fuck that she might be the reason you retire. All you think about is the fact that you're in fucking pain for whoever knows however long this labor is. But once all that shit is done, do you truly give a fuck about the pain of childbearing? I doubt it, because now you have a child that fucking makes you smile.
Sometimes they're driving nuts.
Same shit.
Anyhow, I need to make a run.
Yeah.
I gotta make a run. But yeah, it was good talking about this actually. Kind of enlightening. Hopefully I'll kind of continue it again.
It's been entertaining. And for the analogy about, you're talking about like living our life and the choices you make and how some things have to happen a certain way and some things happen a different way. And there's the path, and God knows all the ways. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book. Did you ever read one of those?
Yes.
Don't talk about?
Yeah.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book.
And I'm not...
A choose-your-own-adventure book.
So like one of the things I want to say is I don't know everything, but keep going.
Oh, no.
I know.
That's all right. I don't either.
Cool.
It's all good. So a choose-your-own-adventure book is a book that is not written in a straight fashion. You don't read page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You read page 1, and at the bottom it says make a choice. And if you make choice A, go to page 75. If you make choice B, go to page 50. And so you read the book in this fashion, and every time you make a choice, you send to a different section of the book. You read that section of the book, you make another choice, it moves you through the story, through the book. So you flip them back and forth. Somehow, through the course of this, they still have to tell a story. They still have to have the major plots. So at some point, no matter which decisions you've made, you end up on page 55 where you find out, unmask the bad guy, or, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be for the story. So I think I've always, not always, but in time it came to me that life is a little bit more like a choose-your-own-adventure book. Where
exactly, because like we both know that space-time is dimensions, and technically, if I can look at length and width at the same time, and I can look at height and depth, and I can look at this other third dimension, which I don't have a proper term for, then obviously the front and back can be looked at the same time. And no matter what, it is malleable, but it is still fixed.
That's why I thought about it. I thought like as soon as I was born, then God knew where I was gonna be. So I felt like, wow, what was the point of like living my life if He knew that I was gonna, and hell, what's the point? And then, like whenever that analogy came along into my life, then I was like, maybe that sounds like more of it something that someone's saying to me, just for the fact that just to kind of convince me into thinking and that God is giving you an option or giving you a choice. And then from there.
So that's always been my issue with like destiny or fate, as you will. It's away from the whole point of like free will and personal choice, which even to take it a step further isn't just personal choice, it's personal responsibility, because now you're not responsible for the bad things that you've done. It was fated. God made that, or whatever made, you didn't have any control of it.
Right.
Well, that's a whole pile of horse shit if I've ever heard it.
Right.
Like, you need to be responsible for your actions, and thus those actions need to come from and be yours. And it's, you try to chuck it off on somebody else. Oh, I was, it was destined that I was going to do that. Well, horseshit, you made those choices, Yeah. That's the other thing they give me. People are like, well, I didn't have a choice. No, you always had a choice. You just had choices that were beyond what you were willing to take. Or that you were willing to make. People would be like, well, you don't have a choice in the matter. Like, the fuck I don't. I just have a bigger choice to make than what you're even willing to give me or think that I have.
Exactly.
You think I'm going to go clean that toilet? Fuck off, I ain't cleaning your toilet. And you don't understand
that I know I have 6 months of unemployment that I can endure. It's almost as if the picture you see is smaller than the picture I see. So therefore, I always have a choice because I'm willing to do the shit you're not willing to do.
Yeah, because I showed up. I was looking for a job. I showed up. I'll look for a job when I leave. You know what I mean? Like, just as an example. But so my point, like there's always a greater scope of. A lot of people try to narrow or convince you don't have or don't exist, and it's a crock. You just have to have the fortitude, the willpower, the strength, whatever you want to call it, to take a look at a grander scale and, make a bigger choice. You're never limited. There's always choices to make.
But then again, I also think of it like this. Say you two cars started a race. What up? You want to send him an invite, a friend request? Before, what is it?
Yeah.
Two people start a race, right?
Head off right now.
Or my bad, not a race. That's a bad example. Two people are going to the same destination, but they take two different vehicles to travel. One person takes a motorcycle that's fast as shit, and the other person takes a car. But for some weird reason, they're on the same freeway, and it's rush hour. So the car gets stuck in traffic, but the car keeps going, or the motorcycle keeps going. Nobody told you either way which way to go. Y'all both decide to go however you want. But the only way to get here from X to Y is through certain directions. Is it fate? Or is it is the motorcycle leading the car? Is the car making its own decisions? Or is it or could it have been a partnership?
now you're kind of restricting yourself because you're using like distance and material planes as a.
Am I? How so? Let me say how so.
Because there's only so many ways you can get from point A to point B. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
From on a map from point A to point B. There's only so many ways. I think that in certain other things, there are many more choices and many more.
What do you mean though?
Alternate paths.
Like even if you decide to go the wrong way across the world, you still have to enter that city, and say if the only thing you agreed with was the fact that you are going to show up to this house, you had to pull into the driveway.
Well, if I had the ability to teleport, I would just teleport myself there. You know
But
what I mean?
you don't.
Like there are greater.
And even then, you still have to go in through the door. You still have to go in through the door.
I can teleport right into the living room, right into the chair.
And now you're in the room where you guys agreed to go. Like no matter what, you still no matter what form of transport, y'all agreed to the same destination. And
as long as we agreed to it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying with the whole predestination versus free will thing. Before you ever decided to go on this trip, what if both of y'all agreed to end up here? And barring you saying, fuck it, in the middle of the destination, I changed my mind, you guys were going to end up there. I mean, there's many allusions to this in the Bible where it says, look, it's not on you to become perfect. Just trust me and I got you. Throughout the Bible, there are many stories where David, he was supposed to be king of Israel, but he was a fugitive. He wrote many songs where he was like, yo, I don't know why, God, you allow these enemies to laugh at me, clowning me and all this stuff. Joseph, but he became king of Israel. Joseph was supposed to be this big shot. He had dreams about it when he was younger, where God was saying, look, everybody's going to worship you. It's coming. He told people that, sent him to jail. He trusted God. He still did what was right. Eventually he got freed. He didn't know the destination, but technically there was an agreement where if he trusted that God, that he was going to do it for him, he was going to get there eventually. And at the end of the day, both of them were happy. I don't know too many Christians who actually practice the things that are in the Bible who don't eventually find a person, who don't, after they persevere, get rewarded in a way that surpassed the way they wanted to get rewarded. I know plenty of Christians that front all day on the things of God, and then they're like, but what, who tell you, yo, God this, God that, yada yada, and then they're like, but they don't spend time in His Word. They don't care to be understood and understand God or to seek His face. Who's straight lying to you. And I'm sure that's the way. Like even non-Christian people, like even that, there are ways.
All day, every day.
Non-Christian people, if they do the things that you're supposed to do, which is love your brother like you love yourself. Even if you don't know that that's what you're supposed to do, but you do it, there's power in that. I mean, there's just power in that. It's just being right. But then there are people who lie, and there are people who embezzle, and then all of a sudden they're like, why is this house of cards falling on me? Well, the system will balance itself. I mean, that to me, that's the biggest error of Cabal, is that they don't understand how fixed God is to His Word. So it almost looks like math because, look, God is so dedicated to not lying that it is almost mathematics. And that's what kills me about Kabbalism, is when I first read it, because there's so much truth in there, so much truth, but the whys were wrong. The what was correct, but why is it what it is? Well, because God this and you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
So far.
Anyway, what were you? Did Homeboy leave? Homeboy didn't leave the party, did he? Yeah, he left the party. Darn.
And then, I don't know, somebody else joined. I don't know who that is.
some random dude. He's standing right next to me, but we're not doing anything. But yeah, to me, that's just and I get it. I get it. I get what you're saying. Like when you're like, because that's the big thing that irked me too when I was following God, because I knew He existed. I knew He was the God of the Bible before I accepted that His ways were in my favor. Because I was raised to recognize God as the God of the Bible. And then when I recognized Him, I was like, but your tenets are so hard. From everything I was taught, this shit is hard. And it's not even fun to do. It takes forever to get results. My goodness, God. Why can't I just do what I want? And then I had to start looking at it, and then it was shown to me a different way. It's like, look, when you love someone, you don't fuck them. If I tell you this hurts me, and you do it, is that love? If your girlfriend tells you she's allergic to peanuts and you give her some shit with peanuts grinded into it, is it really that far-fetched to be like, to wonder why she's mad at you? Exactly. Now, for people to say it's an ego thing, that's because they know too many people with egos, who too many narcissists will be like, yo, if you love me, you would. No, that's bullshit. That's not love. Whatever the fuck. That's a corrupted form of love. Like I was saying, God is perfect light, and we're all just weakened forms of that light. And to some people have fucked up love in one way, and other people have fucked it up for another way. But to me, I get it when He's like, look, if you love me, you wouldn't do things that I told you makes me sad. Why? Because the things He's told me not to do, it's almost like good is unselfish and evil is selfish.
A lot of them just make sense, Thou shalt not kill. Well, to a point that makes sense. Now, that's not to say that I won't defend myself or my family from some nut job.
And it's thou shalt not murder, not thou shalt not kill. Because there's laws against manslaughter. There's laws in place of manslaughter to the benefit of the person who committed manslaughter. But keep going.
Yeah. There's a big difference there, right? Yeah. There's a lot of those things that just some fine nuance that gets lost in the masses. So, you want to run some games or what? I got another guy that wants to play.
Okay, yeah. Challenging? Yeah, let's do challenging again. I love farming that fucking... Yeah. Let's do that. And we'll actually run the game, because I guess... Oh, hold on. I got Zhao Ling. Zhao Ling want me to join. Hold on. Let me see something. Zhao Ling is smart as fuck. I like Zhao. Nah, I can't. That means I'd have to leave you, and I can't do that. Nah. Shit. Nah, none of those dudes are my friends. Right. And plus, we're only at 3, so... But yeah, I'll set up the waypoint.
Somebody's out there. What the hell are you doing?
You can just keep grinding at this one mission, Lincoln Tunnel checkpoint, since...
This tunnel is a major supply line for food, meds, and...
Well, we got it figured out.
Yeah. Let me see. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm taking it off private. That's what I'm doing. So you're telling me Evo's not your... Oh yeah, it's on open.
Not my friend.
So yeah, it's supposed to be there. Got it.
I think somebody's out there. Captain, we're getting overrun. They're killing everyone in sight. Damn it! If they blow open the floodgates.
But yeah, because like, to me, it's almost like the whole mystique of God is that he's there to, God is a title. Like, we all get introduced to God in his official duty, the one who governs the universe and all that shit. And it's like, all right, well, what relationship do you have with someone who's a governor? The only reason they talk to you is because they want to put some sort of administrative shit in your life, right? It's not that they give a fuck about you, it's that they got to enforce laws. So when they tell you, obey me, you don't take it as, because I'm offending them. You take it as, well, because you want to rule over me. Well, fuck you. I don't want to obey you. If I want to obey you, I'm going to obey you, but not because I want to obey you. I'm just obeying because it makes sense. But then you look at it and it's like, okay, but soon God stops becoming like, there's a natural progression, because even amongst, even in the Bible, there's a progression between servants to friends to your bride. Servants, friends, family, bride. Yeah, actually, yeah, that is true. Servants, friends, family, bride. I just realized, well, technically family and bride to me are interchangeable because they're family. But no, because bride is one with God, and I ain't achieved that yet.
There's some, different steps to that, how that all worked in the Bible.
Exactly. And to me, the hardest part was that whole bride thing.
Up too.
Yeah, the whole bride thing was messed up to me, because I was like, how am I supposed to be a bride of Christ if I'm a man? Like, it's hard for me to...
Well...
Exactly. Shut your face. Ain't no brute...
That starts to open up a whole different ballways.
Exactly. So I always told people, like... Well, I told my pastor, like, told my pastor's wife, it's hard for me to envision myself as a bride of Christ because I'm a man. Everything I've ever learned comes from male mannerisms. Yeah. I get the analogy, but I can't... Like, I don't want to be a bride. Or not even, and it's not even an image thing. It's like, I don't know. I'm willing to be submissive, like, because it's like a military leadership thing where you always hear wives should submit to their husbands and shit like that, but it's the word used is military rule. Kind of like a platoon sergeant submits to a platoon leader. It's not because one's lesser than the other, but because that's the role. Somebody has to lead and somebody has to follow.
Someone's got to be the boss. I get that. I understand it, but I think that some of that thinking is a little outdated. I think, in a relationship with a man and woman, it can be way more of a partnership and much less of a one person is in charge of the others.
But a platoon sergeant and a platoon leader are a partnership, though. That's the thing people don't seem to realize. The platoon leader can never do this shit by himself, which is why he needs somebody with, like, the platoon sergeant. Most people who served in the military know the platoon sergeant runs the platoon. The platoon leader's almost like a figurehead. Anybody who's been in a family knows that the woman runs the home and the man is almost like the figurehead. The man might orchestrate stuff and coordinate things for the family to get, but the way it's implemented, all that design is all the woman's hand. Captain, nothing happens to the benefit of the family that the woman isn't. It's almost like she must approve of it all, or else it gets indirectly or directly subverted depending on the personality of the woman. And that, I believe, is the same leadership style. Like, Christ tells you to follow him and all that, but we determine in which capacity. I'll follow you, sure, but you do know I decide how. I mean, yeah, you want me to do this, but I'm the interpreter of what you told me to do. So if I don't agree with it, or if I say, all right, you should be nice to this person, well, I define nice. To me, nice is not cussing you the fuck out. To this other person who actually loves you, nice is fucking baking you cakes and cookies. But I don't like you like that. It's weird. And in my opinion, that's the same thing. Like, in a relationship, you might need your girl to be friendly to your mom. Oh shit, what the fuck am I doing? Wrong button. That's why we can't play challenging and talk. We're gonna have to pause this conversation. Especially since I gotta kick people out and shit. Gotta kick out Evo.
We're both down. We're fucked.
Another agent has joined your team.
Is Cerberus one of your friends?
No. You want to go to game chat so we can talk to these people?
Boot Siberius too. Let me get my friend in here.
Oh, he's your friend? Okay.
Don't get me wrong. She, whatever. But
kill the political correctness, dude. Anyway, I'm going to game chat.
Alright, we'll see if it holds up.
Do you have somebody else that you have in mind? Oh. Invite them to the party. Oh, did you? Am I... No, I mean, invite them to the party and then I'll invite them to the game.
Right.
Oh, I see. Oh, I'm all caught up now. Thank you. I'm all caught up now. Yeah. That's interesting. You taught me something, man. I get most of my knowledge about God in conversations with non-Christians. That's the trip. Because most Christians just accept shit. This is dumb. The stupidest shit, they'll be like, oh, you know, it's his faith and his ways are like, look, man, God says he wants you to understand him. So why not ask questions? If it don't make sense and you don't have an answer for it, then maybe that's something you need to work on.
Captain! They're breaking for the tunnel! They're shooting everyone in sight!
Jesus, it's like getting swarmed by locusts.
Yeah, I'm going to invite him as soon as I climb up this ladder.
Alright.
I feel bad, because she seems kind of cool. And I like listening to female voices too. But, players gotta do what a player's gotta do, so hold up.
Well, these snipers seem to,
the sniper's already dead, dude?
Over here. Okay.
Now she's saving your life.
That's what I'm saying. I almost feel bad now that we've already decided what is going to happen to her life.
Well, she didn't do good either, will you?
Right. I'm not too mad. I mean, I was covered in fire.
Oh, speaking of covered in fire, I'll have to let that happen. Oh, got me too. I got her. We're all borked. We need to wait and get all four of us together at the top of the key.
I mean, I'm switching to game chat. You won't be hearing my voice anymore. Now we're no longer in party chat. Now we know working with us. You come, hey, so delicious or whatever. You coming with us? I'd hate to have to kick you. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to kick you. You don't even. You must be in a safe house somewhere because you're not even ready. What the fuck? How did two people with the same body pop up with the same name?
What?
They keep filling in that extra spot fast.
Are you there?
I'm here.
No, I'm talking to the other guy, the other person. Hold up.
Yeah, they fell too quick.
Oh, that's what it was. My shit was down. Say something for the camera. Whatever. Ooh, please say something. Please say something. Just making sure you use this. Thank you. Thank you. And you got a mic before you run off in there with your skinny tight jeans? Okay, no mic, but at least you hear us. Alright, cool. Ready to run? Running. I guess you're not ready to run. Rev. Rev. Oh, yeah. No, he's taking a shit. Infinite reload. Rev, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. Are you, so you're back, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, I'm here, man. We're gonna do this.
Alright.
We're taking these guys?
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, let's do it.
I really hate kicking people because I hate being kicked.
You can absolve yourself of that concern. Make me the group leader.
Yeah, that's even worse, giving the scepter to a tyrant.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
You damn right. But I worked out these muscles with a shitload of pull-ups, so...
Captain! They're breaking for the tunnel! They're shooting everyone in sight!
Jesus, it's like getting swarmed by locusts. Don't let them through!
No shit, there you were working your spot, and you just get rolled.
Thank you.
And yes.
I just want to let you know we work back to front. Oh shit, sniper behind us as well. I'm down. Yo, yeah. Yeah, Persalence must not be used to saving people. Oh, never mind. Talk too much shit. Talk too much shit. That's the story of my life, baby. Talking way too much shit. Alright, so I guess you guys will be down, we'll be up.
Let's do it. Fucking hop along, monkey looking. That's nobody trying to hit me from.
Actually, I'm gonna help them with the back. Maybe not. Where is that sniper, by the way?
There are two. There's one behind the box truck on the left. Red pickup truck, box truck, right? And then further back, like the next semi truck back that way.
Oh, what the fuck? I got burned? Yeah. You had me free. Fire.
Oh, you might want to revive him, dude. Fuck it, I got you.
I'm dead. That fucking guy. Oh, now she's dead. Go pick up the other guy there.
Actually, I'm not trying not to die. What are we?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, don't worry about me yet. Make sure you guys are all up and healing and, yeah.
I think you're stuck in that no revival world again.
Great. Start my, there we go.
Oh.
Thank you very much. I will be healed. So saith the Lord.
How each round does 100K, but it only takes a bar of life.
I love it.
Oh, no, you hide back there. Believe. Oh no, there you are. Haha. Found you. I think my friend's gonna be salty with me now.
Tell him I was never in his control in the first place.
one. All you snipers done? You done messing around back there?
Good. That was much easier now that we figured it out. That first.
Yeah, probably very good on snipers to the south, to Midas.
Red. I didn't know that was me. Save me! Please!
I'm trying. There we go.
Alright, going up top.
Talk about how busy and interesting and detailed the graphics are. And you're standing up here on the edge and you're shooting something, watch a grenade come up and bounce off the barrier in front of you. That's a hell of a sight. Oh, that is not what I should be doing right now. That is definitely the wrong building.
I see you. And you don't even die. Homeboy died.
Well, maybe that was the right button then. I had to remove myself from that situation.
That is quite funny.
Divine providence. some people angry.
Benitez, this is Faye Lau. We are division agents, and we have eliminated the threat to the perimeter. I'm patching you into our comms so you can direct support to where we're needed.
That's good news, but we still got plenty of bad. Some of those bastards made it through and they're planting explosives on the tunnel floodgate. They're trying to get out come hell or high water. If those bombs go off, you know which one we're gonna get.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm sending one of my people down to take care of that bomb. Cover her ass.
After this mission, I'm going to sleep. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Because, I mean, it looks like noontime right now. And that's bad.
It's pretty close. I guess it depends on your time zone.
Warning. Hostiles inbound on your position.
I guess, for not putting that electric shit on. I don't ever use just a regular machine gunner.
You good?
We got this.
Why did you not get up? That's not good at all. Really?
Alert. Hostiles are headed this way.
Oh, shit. That's more bored.
Thanks for trying, man.
I have a long way from my... There we go, right there. Get some there. Well, we're fucked. Right, so this one's down.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. God bless it. I couldn't do it. Come on, let me hear you fast enough.
Listen, I'm sending one of my people down to take care of that bomb. Cover her ass.
I'll disarm this thing.
Restock.
Warning. Warning. Hostiles inbound on your position.
Of course. Alrighty.
Already here.
Man, what a bunch of shit. Oh, come on, really? God damn it! Fucking stuck into the goddamn cover. Oh, he's gonna club me to death.
Thank you.
Thank you.
are headed this way.
Too long. Well, much obliged, sir. Much obliged.
That was too close. They don't care who they kill to get what they want. Come on up, and I'll meet you in the control center.
Oh yeah, I definitely need to go to bed. Get some kind of sleep.
Yeah, I know. Every time I die, I get just a little bit drowsier.
I'll meet you on the roof. Almost there. Here we go. Beware the penguin. Here comes the snippers.
Garage.
Uh-oh.
They're not in the garage. A sniper hit me from the garage.
Alright, I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh, no way.
Oh.
That's a good spot, though.
If I got shot there, I shouldn't just stay there.
Yeah, well, good spot, I feel say. Oh, Jesus. I'm in the control room. I got a guy with a golf club in here with me. He was beating my ass. Now he's going after the boss. He's going after the boss.
That's how you get people to move. Fucking God. I don't know how to fucking vault over a fucking shit.
It'd be nice if we could heal him, huh? God, don't fucking grenade in here. What the shit? I'm taking an ass whooping at this door right here. Oh, I lied. I gave one. Ah, son of a bitch. There's like 4 of them. It's gonna be that hard. Ah, god damn it. Holy shit. Let's get out of here. Are we good? We're good? Run the car? Is that any better?
Well, just going back to the roof.
Well, I would like to try to draw them back out. It seems to work a little bit. Except for the part where someone's down.
You know, all the snipers are on the ground, so that's even cooler. You got high ground now.
Are you up, Seb?
Agent, your playmates have a sniper positioned ahead. Keep your eyes open.
What a day. Alright, we're all good. Everybody's up. God bless it. Oh, and that's home fired at me too. And I'm down on the roof. You fool. I think, sir, now, quick move your butt.
We're right next to each other.
Wow.
Thank you. Does that mean there's somebody coming up behind us?
Shit, looks like it. Or at least inside the base. Shit, man, some of them.
We should go inside so we can draw them closer and then finish them off from the roof. So our area damage hurts more. That's it. For them.
That's there.
That's a sniper's of course.
And there'll be more back by the leader. More guys.
Right. Final push. Hold up.
Come on. No, you can kill everybody. I was actually waiting for this wave to come. Stop moving, stop moving. Come back.
Doc,
oh, Jesus. Just enough to get me out of there. Dumbass. Oh, it's falling apart at the last fucking survey. What the hell?
I know the route is the easiest place to get to. Or not. Or not. But I sure as hell was gonna kill them all. Fuck that shit. But I will eat a cupcake while I wait to die. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a crunchy ass cupcake.
Not crunchy, baby. Smooth. Not the circle, but I swear this circle is the death of me, dog. Circle ends so many lives, man. Oh, fuck you.
What the shit was that? Come down off the roof and right over here by the bus. Thank you, sir.
Say like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, dog.
It's not your State Farm.
Oh shit, what a mic drop. No wonder I couldn't hear you across the road. Wow. No. Fuck.
What on God's green earth are you people doing up there?
Huh? I don't know. I thought there was a shotgun out here. Well, at least you know once you get up here, we're all alive. Mm-hmm. Why are you picking him up first? Damn it.
I was picking up whoever, I just was trying to pick somebody up. As far as I know, I think you guys were off.
Why you?
Shit. I'm fucking going shit now. This is not an easy task. Oh, this much death. For the love of God.
Ah, shit.
Seriously.
No. I'm not getting off that roof anymore.
Well, time to restock.
You're catching.
I'm restocking.
No love at all.
And I'm switching the fucking turn. Turret time.
Done.
All ready.
That's fucking gay.
Come back towards the original rooftop. Well, coming back to
Yeah, let me jump right up and do that.
Nah, I'd rather watch the zombies come kill me.
Yeah, they don't get to kill me.
Why, you saved the last bullet for yourself? Too noble, man. I'm scared. I'll let you pull the trigger.
My thought is I'm just going to stay far enough away from them they don't get me.
Right, that's why I went back to the original roof.
Oh, I talk about zombies, not these knuckleheads.
Still going back to the original roof.
Run away!
And it's working for Captain Benitez.
Speaking of noble, that motherfucker's just hiding out. He ain't doing shit.
True American hero right here, dog. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good. Right.
To the direct left of us. Who shot you, man? Somebody inside. Is it just a sniper now?
No, he's got a couple soldiers moving up.
Okay. That means it's time to go back. I don't know what we're thinking.
Yeah, golf club guys running in.
Oh, they don't know how to repel, so I'm good. One got inside, just want to let y'all know, and just in case y'all didn't know. Just coming up the stairs. Or he's going to... Actually, he's attacking Roy.
Good.
Well, he's in the same room. He's not. Unless he's looking for supplies. He might be looking for supplies. No. What a hit. Is he on the roof? No, he's... Oh yeah, that's right. He's on that.
Gee whiz, this has been crazy.
I'm gonna get on the bridge instead of just rushing straight up, just in case. Just in case. Fuck, you don't know how to jump now? What is wrong with you?
Alright, try this again. We'll go out here now. Alright. Look, I'm not dying.
Incoming.
Yeah, definitely got some friends.
Hey, climb up here.
The volume music itself is all screwed up on the game. That's funny. Boss is down. My gosh. Oh, damn it. Oh, come on, make it to the box. Make it to the box. Make it to the box. Thank you, my bosses.
Agent, my people say the threat has been eliminated. I thank you, my guys thank you, and the people of New York fucking thank you. I'm on my way back to the base with an escort. Let's talk when you get there.
Good job, Agent. If they'd blown those floodgates, we would have lost a major supply line. Now Benitez can get back to the security wing. See you back here.
Alert, an agent has left your team.
That was fast. Shit, I didn't do no damage to the boss, so it didn't give me shit for it. Oh well.
Oh no.
Oh well.
What? I gotta hide that.
Oh, it's sleep time. Good night. Yep. I'll see you around, man. I think I sent you a friend request, right? Hope I sent you.